What's up, everybody? I'm Sly The Movie Guy, and here's my movie review of Godzilla, King of the Monsters, directed by Michael Doughtery, starring Kyle Chandler, Vera Farmiga, Millie Bobby Brown, Ken Watanabe, and the rest of the other cast and crew. And in this film, the cryptozoological agency Monarch faces off against a battery of god-sized monsters, including the mighty Godzilla, who collides with Monstra Rodin and his ultimate nemesis, the three-headed King Ghidorah. I've been a Godzilla fan since I was a child. I had the Godzilla action figure and the video game, and I got all the Godzilla films. So playing the action figures and watching the old films is an absolute blast. And watching the films recently, they are absolutely fun to watch. And then the one that came out in 1998, which as a child I enjoyed, but now as an adult, not so much. Then the 2014 one came out, which was absolutely surprising. I really enjoyed that film. That was directed by Gareth Edwards. I thought that was a well-directed film. Had some issues in there, but still found the film enjoyable. And I know some people are kind of divided. Some people liked it, some people didn't. Then they come out with a sequel, which I was very excited about. And like I said, Godzilla has all these monsters. Like the monsters are in there, the classic ones are coming. So I was really pumped up for it. Saw the first trailer, was like, I don't know, didn't do it for me. Then the second trailer was, woo, yes, I'm all in. So I was very excited because I saw all my favorite monsters that Godzilla was facing and all that, the villain ones, and so I was very happy and excited. Going to the movie, leaving out the film's okay. The film's fine. There's some disappointments I had with the film, but I'll get those in my review. Let me start off with the positives. The fight battles with Godzilla against King Ghidorah and Monstra and all that was fun. Everything about it was absolutely my nostalgia. I was just glued on the seat, just excited to see the actions that was going on with Godzilla and Ghidorah. It was absolutely fun to watch. And one of those complaints was that Godzilla didn't get enough screen time in 2014. Not a lot of it, but here he does. And so if you're one of the people that kind of like, for fans that was complaining about 2014, I didn't get that Godzilla didn't get enough screen time, he got enough in here, so you'll be happy with that. And that's pretty much where I say was the best parts of the movie. Everything else, not so much. That was a disappointment for me. Like the characters. I was very disappointed how the characters were in this film. And what I mean is, they were just bland. And there's not like one character I could say that was interesting. And that's really sad, leaving out of the movie theater, not remotely invested in all the characters. If I could pick out like 2 or 3 characters, I could say like Kyle Chandler's character maybe was the interesting one, but the way they did his backstory that was connected to Vera Farmiga and Millie Bobby Brown as the parents and the daughter, the family relationship, it just wasn't enough to get me invested in the film. It's like they were trying. It was like they were going to do more on that backstories of them, but it kind of didn't go too far, and that was kind of very disappointing. I wanted to see it go far or get a backstory on it, but that just didn't happen. Ken Watanabe, he's fine in the film. I think he's fine. He was great in the 2014 Godzilla. Here it's just he's here, but it's not much like to his character. But I still think he was interested for what the screen time he got in this film. But then there's other characters like with Sally Hawkins' character and others. It just felt like their characters were just not even interested. Like when they talking about these monsters or whatever doing stuff, talking about the history of them, what they do here, and then they reference back in 5 years what happening to the cities and stuff and the existings and all the creatures of the storyline. It just wasn't like it just wasn't interesting. It felt like I was watching a documentary because the dialogue is just like just throwing out information and stuff like that, and it just got like you was like ready for the action parts. It was at times I was just like, okay, I'm ready to see some action stuff. And there's some sequences like when stuff do happen, like in like no spoilers, like in like laboratories and stuff with the zoological agency Monarch was doing and stuff. There's some sequences where I was just like, okay, I'm on board. But then it goes back to the long dialogue, elongated stuff, and I was just like, why again? And I don't mind dialogue stuff, but it just kind of like was like throwing information, like I said, like a documentary, like I was watching like something on the History Channel, and that's not nothing bad about it, but it just didn't make the characters like interesting or added like ability style to it and stuff like that. Story wise, it could have been done a lot better. I ain't gonna say it's the worst story here. The storyline of this movie is not the worst, but like I said, it was kind of a little bland. Didn't have no excitement to it. So that's one of the things I say was disappointing about the film. Now let me talk about the directing, writing, and style in this film. The directing part, I think was fine and all. The writing part could have been like solid, since now Michael Doughtery and Zach Shields were the writers of this film, and I think that could have just been a lot better because it connects to the when I said about the blank characters. It just seemed like when they were writing this movie, it's almost like they wanted to put all this stuff where the characters explaining stuff in the film, and that just makes it a little bit boring and stuff like that. With Gareth Edwards' Godzilla, it has something interesting about characters. You can like Bryan Cranston's character and other characters in that film, like Ken Watanabe and the other characters, like in the 2014 Godzilla. There were some things that were like interesting. Like instead of like explaining stuff, it was like army people and stuff like was in a battle with Godzilla and stuff in that film, and it was like making it like you're into it and stuff. Like the action and the dialogue was with the Godzilla fighting the monsters. Here, it just like they with Godzilla here, and it just almost like they just want to do more explaining while Godzilla's fighting the monsters and stuff, and they all run around. And so that just seems like the writing that they didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to influence the people with the stuff like that. And some scenes that were there, but it wasn't much of it. And I do say the writing could have been a lot solid and make it something different and like that, or try to do like a little bit of the same stuff from the 2014 version. I can see they wanted to change it, but it could at least kept some of the same stuff here. That's one of the things. The style in this film, I think it's fine. I think the style in this film is absolutely fantastic. It looks great. The way the monsters look, the designs and stuff in the cities or the destruction, all that looks great. So I ain't got no problem with that. So that's pretty much it. Overall, is this like the worst film? To some people, if you're looking for characters and stuff like the first film, then you might be slightly disappointed. But if you're looking for like the stuff I said with Godzilla fighting the monsters and stuff like that, then you'll have a blast with this movie. And if you're one of the people that looks for that, I say go check it out. You'll have a blast with this movie. With the popcorn and drink, I think you'll have a blast with it. But with the characters, not so much. And I'm on a side boat. I'm kind of like disappointed because I wanted to see characters, but I enjoy the action parts, but the characters, they could have done a lot better. And that's pretty much what I expected from the film. I'm going to give this film a C-. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this film. Did you like it or not? Let me know. And as always, if you like this video, click thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, click subscribe and the bell button. That's so I can see you next time on Sly The Movie Guy. Peace.